Hi, so this is just an updates video again. Probably won't be a very long one. I'm just letting you know what the latest is with my mental health services, that kind of thing. Okay, so I don't know if I told you in the last video, but as well as a CPN, mental health nurse, I also have a support worker, and the support worker will be helping me do this self-compassion work. And I had my latest CPN appointment a couple of days ago now, and I wasn't nervous about it. I mean, things have been really stressful recently and I really needed to talk to her, but I didn't think it was urgent enough to actually call them up, so I just waited until this appointment, and it was good to see her. I mean, I was really venting to her, but the thing was, I didn't know this, but she was introducing me to my support worker that day. So obviously seeing someone I didn't know in the room after I wanted to let off steam basically, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but luckily she was really nice. But yeah, because I was so needing to talk things through, and long stories to do with family and stuff, but there's a lot going on, I just let it all out basically, and I felt kind of embarrassed afterwards because I'd vented so much and told some quite personal stuff. I suppose with this person that I'd met for the first time, I wondered what she thought of me. I mean, in her job she's obviously not supposed to judge people, but I guess I thought maybe she would. But no, she was really nice about it, and so as well as asking how I'd been and stuff, the CPN also asked me how I was getting on with my new medication. That's the aripiprazole, or Abilify, which is the brand name. I think it's been suiting me quite well. I mean, I've been on it a couple of weeks now, and started with the 5mg and then went on to the 10mg, and maybe a little bit of nausea. I've not noticed any weight gain yet, hopefully, but what I really found, instead of the agitation that the psychiatrist said I'd get, I found the opposite really. I found it's made me really drowsy. So I take it in the morning, and when it gets to about 4, that's when it hits me really, the tiredness, and I'm trying to make sure I have a nap around that time for about an hour, and hopefully that'll help a little bit. So I'm sort of coping with that, but at the moment I'm wanting to be a bit more social, or be social, because my social life is non-existent. So I was meant to see a friend today, but unfortunately they had car trouble, so they couldn't come. But while I'm still in the mood to actually go out and see friends and that, I want to rearrange as quickly as I can so we can see each other before I start getting really nervous again. And I think a support worker might help me with that, but what the main thing that she's going to help me with is self-compassion, and I'll probably vlog about each session I have to do with self-compassion. At the moment she asked me what I thought it meant, and I sort of rambled off an answer. You know, like being kind to yourself, appreciating yourself, I suppose, seeing yourself as more than nothing. So, you know, it's a very positive thing. She said it's also being quite strict with yourself, but in a kind of way, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure, but I think, I don't know, I guess it's a case of making sure that you're doing things that are good for yourself, like making sure you're getting out of that negative sort of vicious cycle or something, vicious circle. But she didn't really say any more than that about what would be happening, but apparently it's going to be like 2 or 3 sessions, which I thought was really short, but I'm trying to, well, stay positive and think, well, you know, if it's clear that I need, you know, other kind of problem focused stuff, then maybe they can refer me for that, or at least discuss it. So hopefully they won't just sort of drop me or something, because I've found it so difficult to carry on and ask for help that it won't take much. Like, if they sort of drop me from the secondary care team, I don't know if I could find the sort of motivation, I suppose, to ask again to be referred. I mean, I wouldn't know what to ask for either, but I guess we'll have to see how I am after the self-compassion work. Another thing, I wrote some notes again. Oh yes, I mentioned I have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. So I mentioned that to the nurse and the support worker, so they were pleased that I had a good psychiatry session, and the psychiatrist is going to see me again on the 5th of May, so see how I get on with the meds, if there's anything else that needs discussing or whatever. So after that, and the support worker asked me a few questions which I found quite difficult to answer, but I kind of understand it's probably to do with self-compassion and stuff. Maybe it's like gauging whether it's suitable for me or whatever. She asked me about like any hobbies that I had, so I talked about blogging and vlogging, stuff like that. She also asked me about my social life, and like I said, it's non-existent, but I was saying that I was hoping to see a friend today, and I want to be more social. That's one of my sort of aims, I suppose. She also asked me about self-identity, and that's a hard one for me. I mean, I know what kind of person I want to be. I want to be a kind and helpful person. I want to be a supportive friend. I also, when it comes to like feminism and stuff, I also want to be better at understanding the privileges I have, you know, like as a white person, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think I know some stuff, but I bet there's times when I don't sort of check my privilege, so that's something I suppose I'm working towards, and what I'll be working towards for the rest of my life. You know, you never become completely perfect in all this, so yeah. But yeah, self-identity. She asked me if there was any kind of word that I could think of to describe myself, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm not sure. But she was giving examples like realist, dreamer, like creative person, optimist, that kind of thing. And I was saying, well, you know, I think I'm creative, but I suppose at the moment particularly, I guess I'm a realist. I'm trying to think of things logically, but mainly because of certain situations I'm in or my family are in, I'm having to think quite logically. But I'm not entirely sure of what my sort of self-identity, self-image is. I really struggle with that, and I know that a lot of how I view myself is based on what other people think of me, and that must be why I'm not good with criticism and stuff, because I feel it deeply. You know, if someone criticises me, I'm like, this is the kind of person I am, so it does hurt. But also the sort of self-image I have, it kind of changes with my moods really, and obviously because I get such like mood swings, extreme mood swings. Yeah, that's difficult to have any kind of solid identity. Is very strange. Yeah, but those are the main sort of questions that the support worker asked me, and I'm going to see her, I think it's the day before my next psychiatrist appointment, so that's on the 4th, so I think around that time I'll be doing another vlog to let you know how that went and how I felt about the sessions. So I hope everyone's alright. I hope this vlog has been helpful, maybe, I don't know, but I will try to be a bit more regular with these, even if it's just an update on how I'm feeling on a particular day, because I don't know how regularly I'm going to be having these appointments. So I will see you soon, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I promise I will try to vlog more regularly. So I'll see you soon.